Hello, welcome Rebels. My name is Ashley and I'll be guiding you through our yin sequence, or as I like to call it, a yinny, a mini yin. This particular style of yoga is designed to really help us connect with the parasympathetic nervous system. So that part of the nervous system that regulates and helps us feel calm and at ease in our body. We'll be using some deep belly breathing and holding poses for longer periods of time. If that's something that you're thinking, oh, this is my first time to yoga, I don't even know what a pose is. A pose is simply how we're moving our body and making shapes. For today's practice, everything that we do is going to be on a mat. So things that you need yourself, congratulations, you showed up. That's the most important part. A mat, you can always use a mat or a towel. Maybe you're taking your practice outside, so you're just on the grass or in some sort of other outdoor area. I invite you to bring a friend, whether that is a human friend or a furry friend. And then blocks can sometimes be helpful, or maybe books and a blanket or a towel. All of these are options. You may choose to just listen to music and the music of the playlist and breathe for the next half an hour. And I welcome all of those options to you and for you, because you know your body best and you're already doing what you need to be doing, which is taking care of yourself. I also recommend having water. It's so important to stay hydrated. And if at any time throughout the practice, if you're feeling stressed or overwhelmed, or you feel a change in your heart rate, please take a breath, slow it down. You can come to a seated pose, laying down, or a child's pose, which I'll demonstrate in a minute. Knowing that all of the postures that I offer for you are options, and I'll be giving you a few different options for every pose that we do. Our affirmation for today is, I am open to all that is good. I am open to all that is good. So thinking about how we can invite the good into our lives as we begin our practice today on our backs. So maybe we take our blanket or our towel. It's the bloopers. And then slowly, again, this practice is all about being gentle and kind to yourself. And maybe if that's the part of the intention that you take in, which is you are the good, what are the best parts of you? And then slowly lower all the way down. This is where having a hood can come in handy to help cradle the head a little bit. Beginning to connect with all four corners of the feet, connecting with the hands, palms face down. Beginning to understand where we are in our space, breathing in, releasing, feeling the spine welcomed by the earth. Breathe. Orientating ourselves in our space, noting two things that our body is making contact with. That may be the fingertips on the earth, the toes planted on the mat, the hips or the spine melting into the mat or the blanket. Breathe in. Rocking the hips back and forth, slowly, gently to ground ourselves, reminding us that the earth is in fact underneath us. Lifting the hips up just once, and then slowly coming down one vertebrae at a time back to the earth. Making that contact, finding our space, inviting in the good, drawing the belly button in and up just a little bit. It's almost like a little breath in to start realizing our center, our core, incorporating some gentle core strength today in the flow. Breathing in, lifting the shoulders up to the ears, and then releasing them down. That always helps me take the shoulders away from the ears. They like to creep up. Breathe in, release. Revisiting our intention, inviting in all that is good. And releasing even just a little what we need to let go of. Begin to gently walk the right foot towards the middle of the mat, lifting the foot off the mat, placing it back down again to really focus on being here, being now, grounding. Slowly lifting that left leg up to the sky. Breathing it in as we point and flex the foot. And then gently placing the left ankle over the right knee, opening up in a figure four. This is where maybe we prop our neck up a little bit. Option to continue to elevate using the blanket. You may also choose to lift the hips up onto a block if that feels good for you. Placing your foot on a block is an option as well, or a book. Maybe it's a stack of magazines. So take a minute and just decide where you feel best. So this for me, my hips are a little bit sensitive. It's early in the morning where I am, so I'm going to push that block away, but I tried it. And that's what this practice is all about, is trying what feels best in your body. And every day things are going to feel a little bit differently. So getting focused into that figure four posture, maybe closing the eyes down, breathe. We can stay here, gently pushing the left thigh further away from the center of the body, or we can reach for the right leg, hugging it in, recentering and grounding on the mat, rocking the hips back and forth, and then lifting the leg up to the sky. 2 more. Let the breath take you out of the past. Let the breath bring you to the present. Slowly release. Wonderful job, everyone. Extend that left leg up. 3 breaths here. Listening to that intuition, the good in your voice. What movement do you want to welcome in? This is your practice, your time. And then send the left foot down. Lift both legs up. Wiggle the toes. Circle the ankles. Circle the wrists. These are areas of the body that hold tension. They hold energy. So this movement is how we process and refocus back on the good. So by moving our body and breathing, we're allowing in more time and more space for the good, for the positive. Breathe in. Breathe out, hug it all in. Rock back and forth. And then send it back down. Lift the right leg up to the sky, moving to the opposite direction. Point and flex, circle. 2 more breaths here. Just as we did before, pick that left foot up, send it back down, reminding ourselves of our strong roots, our strong foundation. Right foot crosses over. 3 here. Option 1, gently pushing that thigh away. Noting that each side is different, so honor each side of the body, each part of the body. Things don't have to be exactly the same from side to side. Or we lift up, reach up. Recognizing the good in the time you're taking for yourself, the good of moving the body, any sort of movement, any sort of focused breath. So many benefits. Helping increase our endorphins, getting all this freshly oxygenated blood pumping through our whole body, finding clarity and stillness. Breathe in 2 more. Maybe incorporate a little rocking. Rocking is so soothing for the body. And then release everything down. Extend that right leg up. Both soles of the feet meet the mat. Make that connection in this bridge pose. Breathe it in. Open the mouth side out. Breathe in, rediscover your center, your trunk. Hug those legs in. rock it back and forth. Reconnect, soles of the feet meet the mat. Hands plant behind us. Begin to slowly roll up. Maybe there's some creaking and some cracking. That's just our body releasing what we no longer need. Gently lifting off of the blanket. We'll come back to this later, don't worry. I know it's always hard to put a blanket aside as a lover of blankets. We're going to slowly walk ourselves to the end of the mat. That can look like sort of a crab walk and lift or sliding. We're coming to the front of the mat. Soles of the feet are still on the mat. And what we're going to do, just to invite some gentle additional movement in, all that is good, we're going to place the hands behind us or off to the side, and we're going to begin windshield wiper scooting. So we're helping release some of the energy that was built up in the hips, and we're reconnecting with the earth. We're also working on very gentle core strengthening as we come up, and we're working on making that contact again with our hands, also kind of a gentle arm stretch. So working to breathe in and release, just moving and scooching at a pace that works for us. And of course, coming over to my water bottle had nothing to do with this pose. Taking a sip of water, taking a moment, noticing how it feels that we've traveled across the mat. Take a breath in and out. Placing the blanket. I told you it would be back onto the mat. If you have a block or books or magazines, this would be a time that you might want to use them as we slowly roll onto the belly. Taking a moment here, just doing a nice counter stretch, counter spinal stretch. So coming into a Sphinx pose, and then we'll incorporate the block here in just a moment. So just holding, pressing up, gentle back bend here, breathe in, looking in front of the mat. Breathe out, let it go all the way down, bringing the forearms together, extending the right leg out long, and I'm going to move this so you can see. First, slide the left leg over to the left. So I'm not lifting it, I'm gently sliding it here, so it's making a variation of a 90-degree angle. This is where we can prop up the blanket, we can elevate the knee. So just as always, try each variation. We never know until we try. Even if we try it for half of a second, we're still doing it. We're still creating that muscle memory. And then when we come back to it at a different practice, our body recognizes that we're doing it, and then we keep growing. So once we find our space here, we're going to breathe in, lift up, and then lower down. Forehead comes to the hands. Or the earth. And then we can take the left cheek to the left for a gentle twist here. What is good for you today? What is good for your body today? 2 more. Chin comes back to neutral. Release that left knee. Sphinx pose. Breathe in, lift up. Breathe out, lower down. Breathe up. Release down. One more, breathe up. Release down. And as we release down, placing the hands closer to the rib cage, we may need to tuck our toes just to give ourselves that extra little oomph to come up. Begin to breathe in, slowly peeling ourselves up. Knees back to the blanket or towel. Toes together. Knees can be together or knees can be out wide. Breathe in. And then begin to walk the hands out as the hips lower down. Child's pose. This is a pose that can be taken anytime. If we want to invite the good in and release the overwhelm. One more. Breathe and come up. Release. Send that the block over to the right. Lowering all the way down, all the way down. Extending the left leg out this time. Sliding that right leg out at that 90-degree angle. So this is where, again, do we want to roll up the blanket? Do we want to use the block? What feels good to us? Using our hands as a pillow. Forehead down, or we twist. Settling in. Bringing in all that is good. More. Imagining that we're breathing from our hips. So a lot of times we'll say breathe from your belly button, but try to go even deeper than that, imagining that we're trying to fill up from the hips all the way up to the crown of the head. One more. Bring the head back to neutral. Place the block off to the side. Lifting the knees up, windshield wipering. And releasing. Pressing up. Little nice spinal sphinx waves. Forearms can be planted or lifted either way. Back to neutral. Walk the hands back, pressing ourselves up. As we come into our final resting posture, we can decide to come into a child's pose. Always a favorite, a crowd pleaser. Maybe staying on your belly, take it to the side or your back, either one. But find that resting posture. Let yourselves melt in. Breathe it in. Sigh it out, release. One more. Noting that we're back where we began. Orientating yourself on the mat. Grounding. Connecting with the center. You're welcome to stay in our final resting posture of Savasana as long as you would like. If you need to go about your day, begin to invite some movement into the fingers, into the toes, into the neck. Reaching up. Rolling onto the right or left side. Breath in and out. Breathing in all that is good. Breathing in gratitude. Breathing in love. Gently coming up to a seated position. Taking a big breath in, all together as one awesome rebel community. And release. The light in me honors, respects, and appreciates the light in you. Have an absolutely beautiful day, Rebels. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me today. Again, my name is Ashley. If you are on campus, please join me at 6:15 a.m. on Wednesdays, 6:15 to 7 for a morning yoga flow. And then Thursday evenings from 5:30 to 6:30. So Thursdays 5:30 to 6:30 at the Student Wellness and Recreation Center. We offer a wonderful variety of classes, so please come and check us out. And if you'd like to follow me on Instagram, you can do that at Neebs Does Yoga, and it should be here on the bottom of the screen. Take care.